Okay, it is 6 p.m. I will call this Tuesday, January 4th meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. You'll notice that we are zooming in two of the board members for obvious reasons. I think we don't have to state the others. So for those present, if you please join me in saluting the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First order of business, approval of minutes, but we don't have any, so we can dispense with that. Second, approval of warrants. So I'll entertain a motion to approve payroll warrant number 14 for $356,587.93. Payroll warrant number
14A for $2,474. General warrant number 1032 for $336,576.41. And school warrant number 1031 for $149,535.78.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, let's see, we had some financial items planned for tonight, but we've postponed. Meeting with the school superintendent will be held on January 18th. So the school superintendent will be in to discuss the budget on January 18th. Review and sign a budget letter.
Yes, this is from, well, Sheila typed it up. It's just the annual budget letter asking people to set, how they want to set their budgets and all that. Asking them to level fund to what was appropriated at the last meeting.
Yeah. Have you guys seen this letter yet? Do you guys have the packet? Did you review it? We okay with it?
Which letter was that again? Sorry.
The budget request letter, the standard letter that we send out to all departments telling them.
Yes, I'm good with that.
Okay. And we updated all the dates and stuff like that, and we looked at the dates.
I checked over. Sheila wrote it out and I double checked it.
Okay, perfect. So you all set with that to send that out?
Yes.
All set, John?
Yep. All set. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
So it requires our signature. It'll be in the office. You guys come in at your leisure to sign that so we can get it out, doing the distancing guideline stuff. All right. The other thing is the police department sent us a letter requesting some of the ARPA funds for the police department. We've been giving some to the Board of Health. We've been reserving some for sewer, but the police department is in desperate need of some money from the ARPA. So I guess what I'll do tonight is forward the letter from them. I don't know if you've seen it yet, from the police union. Have you guys seen the letter yet?
I have not.
All right. So I'll forward that to you. You can review that and we'll talk about it on the 18th.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Need to appoint a new COA director. That's been postponed to January 18th.
Yeah, tentatively.
Let's see. We need to accept a donation from Franny Huckins for the railroad.
Yeah, there's a copy of the letter there, but it's
Please accept my donation of a Caterpillar loader from the 1970s to the North Brookfield Railroad Company. Signed, Francis Huckins. It's coming over with the sale of the property, I guess, right, John?
He's donating it personally, yeah, to the railroad.
Okay.
Yep. Very generous donation too, I might add. He's a very good guy.
I move to accept the donation.
Yeah, so acting as railroad commissioners, I guess we would accept the donation. So a motion's been made
Second,
and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Good, all right. The next on the agenda was the sewer position. They just want to post for that clerk spot. He dropped off the, what is it? The
Job description.
job description. So they're gonna post that. I don't think we need to.
It's
to
just
vote
for
on
a
post-
clerk, right? It's not a, it's just for a clerk. It's not like a clerk and
Yeah, the
worker.
clerk operator doesn't exist anymore, so
Right.
it's just for the clerk. And it's a part-time clerk too, so it's not even a full-time position.
Mhm.
So I recommended him back to the sewer commissioners to approve of the position and then make the recommendation to us when they finally hire, so.
Mhm.
And that leaves us with, Chief Hallway with his long list of things he wants to talk about. Go ahead.
I know, I just want to update you with a couple things real quick. There's been a lot of hours put into the grants this year. With the budget the way it is, I'm really pushing for grants.
Mhm.
I got 3 prospective grants that I think are gonna be good, high percentage chance of getting them. So, yeah, they do affect us in the long run. One of them is, the first one is a DCR grant. It's a state grant from the Department of Fire Services. And that grant there is done every year, but it's competitive now. All of them became competitive. There's no guarantees with any of them anymore. Used to be able to pretty much count on it. There was enough money for all the towns and cities, but now that's not the case. So the DCI grant, what I put in for was 30 helmets for brush fires. We don't have any brush fire gear that was ever issued through the town for the firefighters, so we've taken donations from all over the place to try to put these guys in, basically, as much gear as we could find for free for brush fires and not turnout gear, wearing heavy turnout gear for structural firefighting. So this year, I'm trying to take advantage of 2 of the state grants. One is for 30 helmets to be issued, brush fire helmets to the guys, if I get that grant. That grant is a matching grant for $1,000. The cost of the helmets was $2,070. If I get that grant, I do have a 900 and some change in my gift account, which I will use to match the other half if we get it. With that said, we got a donation from the DBA liquor store downtown for an incident that happened there for $150 that I brought over to Sheila, and I wanted to get it authorized to accept it for $150. That would, if I put it in the gift account, if you guys choose to accept that gift, then that would be enough to match the grant. If we get that grant, that state grant. So I'd like to have you guys see if you could decide whether or not you will accept that grant for $150 from them. They had an incident in the basement, and it ended up being quite a bit of work and made quite a bit of mess, and we helped them out. He really wanted to do something for us, and he sent us a check for the fire department as a donation.
Right. Yeah. I'll entertain a motion to accept the gift.
So moved.
second,
Yeah, motion is seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Good.
So the next grant was another state grant from Department of Fire Services. It's a grant that I got the washing machine and all those items from. It's the same grant, but now again, it's a appointed grant as far as where you accept it. I put in for 30 sets of Nomex forest fire gear for the guys. The guys have been buying their own stuff all these years, what they can. But I want to have 30 helmets issued by the town. I want to have 30 sets of Nomex jumpsuits and pants and shirts. They had their choice, whether they wanted the onesies like I wear, or they could have the pants and the shirt. They cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
So once they
What would Joe do?
So if I get that grant, that'll give us 30 sets of brush gear. So as guys come and go from the call departments, there'll always be a set of brush gear in their locker, in the empty locker, and then hopefully full locker for people to use a helmet. That's the idea behind the two state grants.
Mhm.
So those grants have been submitted. The last grant was the AFG grant, which is the big federal grant that comes around every year. Last year, we put it in for personnel to see if we could get it on the personnel, and it went in late. One of the guys that was gonna write the grant missed the date, so we missed the grant for equipment, but we made it in for the personnel, but we didn't get the grant. So this year, I researched the grant myself. I've been writing the grants myself, and I got the AFG grant in, and the goal of this grant was for $59,000 for 18 sets of structural firefighting gear. So the theory behind this one is, and my thought is, we leased 12 sets because we had to replace turnout gear. Well, in another year and a half, 2 years, that lease runs out, and so does the NFPA on the other 18 sets. So we're gonna have to come back for another lease with you guys, and it'll be a larger lease, obviously, because it's 18 sets, not 12. So it's gonna cost more money. So I put in for the 18 sets on this grant, and if we're lucky enough to get it, that would leave that several thousand that's in there in the budget. That's been there right along anyway. That's the money that's always in the line item for equipment. Well, we're using it for the lease now for the last couple of years, but that would free up for structural helmets, gloves, things like that, and not have to come back and ask you guys for more money for a larger lease. That was the goal behind it, but again, that's a very competitive grant. I give it my best shot. It came back with good high marks. We'll see what happens. So the last grant that is out there was an AED grant that came out from the state again. I called Mark over here, asked Mark if they had got the same email they had. So Chris is writing the grant. I sent over some information for him, some quotes that he might use that I had already done, because I started writing the grant also. At the bottom of the grant, it does say that if there's enough money in the state funding for that particular grant, they'll issue a second AED, and you can choose police, fire, or other. I asked Chris if he could put us in for a fire one, because I need one for my crews. So I let the police are doing that particular grant, and that's usually a pretty solid grant. That should be good. So I know we got a lot of grant money out there, and we're trying to get it to help things out with the way things are. That's it on the grants. And just a quick thank you for the purchase of Hucks to everybody. We're really excited about it all. And we're waiting for that to all happen. When you guys are ready, let me know what you need from me to get the ball rolling with you. I'm willing to help out with that. We had 2 cardiac arrests in the last couple of months, really young people. One that happened at a local establishment, and another one that happened at a residence of a retired firefighter, and they both were codes. They were both very young. Luckily, between the citizens and the emergency response between police, fire, EMS, those people are alive today. One's coming home from the hospital, the other one was out of the hospital already. So, you know, again, going back to the Lucas machine we were donated, huge piece of equipment for us. We're going through hallways. There's no way that we could do compressions and carrying them out on stairs without that machine. So, but I'll tell you, the police, fire, and ambulance click. Everybody's thinking alike. We've had so many of them lately. I don't know why, but it's been awful. Ambulance calls that we right up Derry right now. And we all know that. So that's a busy time. But those things are those 2 saves, again, we'll ask to do some certificates down the road. When things settle down, we'll pick a night if you guys would entertain us. Because those are few and far between in a lifetime, but boy, I don't feel.
Do you have a list of all the times you've used the Lucas? To how many
Yeah,
lives
we would have
saved?
on all those particular calls, yeah.
I'd like to send something over to Green Gold, because they're the ones that donated it. And it's saved lives and helps out. So you think once in a while sending over a
We
list
do
of-
touch base with them about it, because we go down there and we touch base with them about the use of it and how much we appreciate it.
Yeah, like an annual thing, like right now, right? So we do how many we saved and how many people they've helped
Yeah.
in North Brookfield through
Absolutely.
2021 with the Lucas machine donation.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
It wouldn't be bad to post on the website too.
I did also put down some of that information on the request from your office for the what was it? Yep, the
Impact fee.
Impact statement.
Impact statement,
That
yeah.
was all in there.
Mhm.
It was on, I did mine in segments, and that was all the stuff that was,
Okay.
yeah, that's in that impact statement.
Yep.
So, but again, my hat's off to everybody, police, fire, ambulance, everybody, great bunch of people doing a good job. We had a bad CO call last night, fire prevention happened to be in there not long ago. House was loaded with CO, the alarms got them out. It's another one of those things that can turn into a family tragedy. They called me out last night, went down there, the house was loaded up, but the alarms all kicked in, so. I think things in general, we're doing the best we can to keep everybody safe and, you know, just wanted to let you know. And, that's it, really about it right at the moment. I'll send my, monthly report over to you later.
I have October and November right here. so-
Yeah, I'll send you December. I don't have the
Okay.
stats with me tonight.
Yeah.
I just wanted to update you with the grants, where that was all going and what we're trying to do to do our part to do our part with the budget, you know, as far as like the turnout gear and the leases. And the mindset is trying to help us along. with
Yeah,
everything that's going on.
well, we appreciate everything we can get, you know.
Thing with the grant paperwork that Joe needs signed. Just in terms of
Joe needs it signed.
So you need to sign here and there.
Well, did we receive a grant or this for applying for the grant?
No, that one there is for the DCR grant. They want to take work ahead of time, so if you get approved, they're not scrambling to get it. So that's just authorization of who can work the grant and sign it. There's no obligation with us or anything with it. It's whatever.
That just shows what the grant would be for.
State Forestry
That's the
DCR grant.
right? Yeah.
All right, so I'll obtain a motion from you guys to authorize signature on this.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
There'll be a couple more
Aye.
once the other one. That particular grant, the guy likes to pay for it ahead of time.
1/4/22. All right, thanks, Joe.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Hope everybody's well. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Joe.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Now, let's see, public comment. Brandon's here.
It's slow this time of year, so. Just mention the plans is pretty much okayed by the Conservation Commission, just waiting on updated drawings, so erosion control, so that's, hey, Chris, in the hands of the engineers and everything, so. Yeah.
Oh, good,
No hold up.
excellent. All right, appreciate it. Anything, John?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, Jason?
I'm all good.
All right, so.
Move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Good night. Happy New Year, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.